Hello, welcome to Scrap Time, episode 1064. My name is Christina, and on today's episode, I'm showing you the Cosmo Cricut Just Add watercolor papers. Today, I am showing you the Just Add watercolor paper from Cosmo Cricut. Now, I'm going to just show you some samples here on the front so you can sort of see. These papers have a gold and a clear resist on them, and there's so many different ways you can do it. So on the front, on this page, they just colored in some of the areas, whereas on pages like this, the whole background is done. Here they use different colors over the words. So even though there's different designs, there's so many different ways you can color these papers. And you can use watercolor paints, you can use spray mist, you can use ink blocks, art blocks, the Inktense blocks, or watercolor pencil crayons, so many different mediums. So I'm going to just flip through a little. It's hard to see because obviously you can't see the clear resist, but you can see the gold resist. So I just want to show you though that there's different size sheets. So we have this one here, and then we have some smaller ones, and then the border. And this is the same idea. There's a big one and then little borders. And this is actually two different ones. That's about the similar type of division there. This one, it's like 4 6x6 pictures. And that's the 4 6x6 as well. And then this is an all over design. So there's a clear resist in amongst here, all the gold stars. That's that sheet that was featured on the front. This one has a bunch of clear resist triangles as well. And I've used some of the sheets in here. So there was another sheet that had like 9 little things as well. And I've used some of those. Then there's also a smaller pad here, 8 by 8 inches. And it's the same idea on the front. Some are painted all over, and this bird got painted in with like different colors and that, the flowers. So this one has 2 here and then a border. There's the bird and some hearts. Oh, this is one I already cut up a bit, but there's the love, and it has a resist over it. This one has tiny little ones. There's 4, so 2 by 2 inch little designs. And then a couple borders and that. So you sort of get the idea. This has 4, so they're 4 by 4 inches. So a bunch of different designs, and these are all over pages. So I'll show you some that I painted up. So here there was a heart. I just added some paints to. This one I think I might have done with pencil crayons. Here's what I did with some paints, you and me. And then I put some onto cards. So we have this one here. I actually did this with distress inks. You can use inks as well. And then I put it onto the card. Here's one I did with some watercolor paints. This one I did with the Inktense blocks and did a little gradation. And then another one there. So you can see this one has the little circles, this one has the hearts. Lots of cute little designs. And then I had stamped the happy birthday and thank you on them. And then there's also full-on sheets of paper. So I did them, the easiest way I like to do is with spray inks. So you can see how pretty the design is. So this is great because it has this design, but you can spray whatever color or paint any color you want that will coordinate with your project. Now this one had a thinner resist. And so I found it was a little harder to see, and you had to use darker sprays with it. The lighter sprays, it just sort of blended together. But then this one is a nice bold resist, and it's really pretty with the orange and pinks. So I'm just going to do one for you. So you can see, so right now it just looks like a perfectly white piece of paper. And just by simply spraying, I'm going to use this distress spray stain in the abandoned coral. And already you can see some of that pattern showing through. What color should I use? I'm going to use some fossilized amber. Some spiced marmalade. And I want to use a little bit of picked raspberry. So I'm just going to let it soak in for a little bit into the paper. But you can see how that resist was there in the background, and by just adding any sort of watercolor medium, it resists the medium. If you were to use acrylic paint though, however, the acrylic may cover it up, and that's why they suggest using any sort of watercolor medium. So now I'm just going to use my paper towel and remove some of that excess. And so where you have the resist, that color will just sort of come right off. I can rub this a little and you can see how oops, I had some color on my fingers. Oops. So there, you should get the idea of how that resist pops right off. So the Just Add watercolor papers from Cosmo Cricut are really fun. There's lots of great patterns, designs, all different sizes that you can use for so many different projects. So check them out. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you the Spellbinders Tudor Rose die set. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.